misery. All right, howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. And well, don't look now. There's a bunch of faces all around the sun. This big old one right here. If you look at it, tilt your head to the left. We'll get into that part later on, though. All right, let's back out of this and get started, shall we? And while we're doing that, I'll take a moment here to thank you all for spending a moment of your precious time to be here with this precious family. You have to forgive me, I'm still recovering from today again, so just bear with me. Okay, how are we doing this, Lord? Sorry I didn't say hello to people in the opening there. I was out of the room. All right, here we go. Look at 305. You can see two entities coming up behind the tree. Okay. We'll get there. All right. At the meantime, here's our opening frame, June 17th, 2024. Before I even get into this, the reason why I entitled this Don't Look Now is because if you don't understand what's going on by now and you start to investigate now, it's kind of too late in the game. You're going to be scared out of your mind. So it's like, don't look now. You should have been looking these last few years and paying attention. There's a little one sneaking out up there. Okay, our first blast here at 912, right around there. This weird little shaped thing coming out right here. Doesn't look spherical. There's a good shot. Yeah, let's just kind of... I'm not going to point it out. Let's just see if you guys will see it. Right there. There we go. Okay, so there's that. I'll let you guys be the judge of that now. Kind of in a weird mood tonight, so just bear with me. As we progress here, you can see they're blocking out whatever's hiding there. Something obviously there that they don't want you to see, so. Very big blast. You can see at the very end, our object right here, conical cone-shaped tail draping back behind it. Okay, and then we have another event coming off the top here. This is our weird one. Do you see this big map? Well, here, let's keep going. Right? Right here. Okay, this is our frame right here. We'll zoom into this. I'll leave it a little bright right there. Actually, maybe a little bit like that. This big old face right here with the eye, the nose, the mouth, its bushy beard, some kind of weird little hat or whatever. Okay, there's this, there's skulls, there's all kinds of entities and weird stuff coming out of this one. No, that's not working doing that. So there's pretty good, I guess. You have to come over to this frame and play around with it. There's a lot going on in there. Okay, spiritual realm starting to show up all over the place. After what I went through today, it's just this brutal assault. I don't even try to describe it to you if you really care, but there's another face right here, two eyes, the nose, this mouth coming out. There's all kinds of weird alien head thing right here. It's just beyond description anymore. So you should come over and take a peek, see what's going on. It looked like there was some weird looking ship structures or what, or maybe not this one, the next one. This right here. Now look at the big skip in data from 1326. So the tail end of this event is gone. And then we jump to this event midway in progress. This right here, let's just get that one up. Should have used that as the thumbnail, maybe. Sorry, just wasn't feeling it tonight. All right, so here we go. Boom, right there, little object coming off. You can almost see it. The crisscrossing the magnetic field lines are, well, it's the ones on my screen, maybe. Never mind. Glitch screen, and then all right, and that was it. So a big jump in data, but three big, huge explosions off the sun today. So the first one, right there, 2, 3. And then it looked like it was starting to have the fourth one right at the very end, right there at the top. All right, so there's your activity for today. All kinds of crazy stuff in there. I'm really not in the mood tonight. Sorry. Some nights I would just go right into it, and we're talking about can't be reached. Go ahead. I reach a little deeper then. All right, your solar, well, let's just get to our X-ray flux first. Sorry, I'm trying to cheer up here. Okay, so here's our box for today. Boom, 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 boom. You can see all the activity. Bang, bang. Those three big explosions that we saw today only registered barely M class. Go figure. You saw them big old, huge, huge explosions. It barely registered M class. Well, look how low our baseline is right here. We're down at the seafloor again. We're getting low baseline when these hit. So, if it was up here really high, I would have been an X flare, but now they register as M flares, which is good. I'm fine with that. Now let's go look at our indices. Okay, the lifted indices up 13, up to 180. Okay, so we're creeping back up towards 200. Our sunspot count number is up 17 more sunspots to 151. Okay, so we're heading towards that 200 number there. The area is in green right now. That's all good. We don't have to really care about that until later. All right, I think we're right the one. Can we get this little movie, please? Let that load up. Scratch, you made it. Good. Thank you. Your presence makes my day right there. Manuel Zapata, thank you. Look at the 305. Oh, wait. I'm on the wrong angstrom here. Thank you, Scratch. Thank you for wishing me well. I'm not doing too good, so every little bit counts. All right. All right. Anyways, no, we'll come back to that. The 305. It's 304. 131. Well, we'll get there later. There's 304. Okay. Sorry, I'm just excruciatingly exhausted too. So let's just back out of this. Get back to our normal report here real quick. Okay, so geomagnetic forecast still all clear for the next 3 days. Okay, you can see our next event here isn't much. We can go take a peek at it a little later or something right now. X-flare potential up to 10%. I believe it should be higher. Okay, even though these big eruptions only measured an M class, it's the fact that we got these dangerous sunspots right here facing us right now. I don't want to come over here to those real quick. Zoom into those for you real quick because we need to talk about this sunspot complex down below here. Okay. Both regions are kind of far apart from each other. That's good because it's when they start to get close and interact like like this up here a little closer, all right, that we have concerns. So you know what, maybe we could leave it at 10%. This thing doesn't seem to have I don't know how old this image is though. Anyways, there's your sunspots. They're 16, 13, and 12 were all very, very dangerous, and they're all earth facing. So a little zap out of one of them could, lead to something heading our way. One time we saw two sunspot regions connect like this, the red spot to this blue spot over here. So that could happen. We never know. We've seen it already. So there's your sunspot layout right there, kind of right now. Whoops. No, 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 no. Oh, right there. Okay. So all clear for the next 3 days. Now look here at our KP. We've had a little activity right here. We saw this, spike, this separation, separate impact. There's a little higher right there, KP4. Then drops down. Now we're back up to KP3. I wish I had that 30-minute one. I'll have to find the link for that one. It's a lot fresher information. Here we have to wait for hours to find out our latest impact or whatever. So, but right now we're cruising right along. Not too many impacts. Geomagnetic activity is pretty quiet, so that's good. We still have beta gamma delta configuration on 3712, beta gamma on 13. Remember 16 up there? Watch that one as well. Okay, our auroras at the moment getting a little strong. This is starting to get little hints of yellow in there. Doesn't appear too bad on my screen, but so right around KP4, 4.5 or something, we're getting some pretty good energy. Not too bad. Anyways, let's get to this article real quick. An asymmetrical halo CME is seen leaving the sun this morning just after 8. Okay, it appears that this is related to the activity on the far side of the sun and is not Earth directed. Whew. One can only wonder if our old friend 3664 is up to its old tricks again. Probably. Second CME. This is not a replay of my previous post from this morning, but a second coronal mass ejection is seen leaving the far side of the sun around 11. This one appears to be more noteworthily directed. Northernly. More northernly directed. This one does. Looks southerly. Okay, but again, because it's far side, it will be directed away from the Earth. Okay, so most of these ones are far side ones. Let's see what was going on with this latest little thing right here towards the end here. Yeah, this coming out of the top right there. So it looks like we're getting one of these long duration, slow motion CME right here. All right. So that'll be this activity right here. Okay, now moving on. Let's just see what's going on around the tracker. Yeah, they're not plotting anything yet from those 3 explosions. So, all right. All far side explosion appears to be. There's your sunspot configuration right there. That was on the 16th. Okay, so now let's get on over to spaceweather.com. Farside solar activity. A flurry of CMEs observed by SOHO on June 17th appears to be due to farside activity. Helioseismic echoes. Remember, we're using the helioseismology. It's like Earth or sun quakes. The echoes suggest that there are at least 2 big sunspots capable of producing flares and CMEs on the far side of the sun. Mars and Venus and Mercury are in the crosshairs of these active regions, but Earth is not. Okay, the superstorm zaps global electric circuit. All right, now let's read just this a little bit here. The geomagnetic superstorm of May 10th, 2024 did more than spark some of the best auroras in 500 years. It also electrified our planet. All right, now it did, but in a way, let's just keep going. Our sensors measured a significant change in atmospheric electricity. A significant change in what? Atmospheric electricity. Okay. The Earth's entire global electric circuit was affected by the storm. All right. So this is a good little example here, except they got a few things wrong. But one thing I do want to point out in here are these GCRs, galactic cosmic rays. Okay, when these galactic cosmic rays penetrate the ionosphere, that's the charged part of our atmosphere that has an electrical current, all right? When they penetrate the electrical ionosphere and continue on down, and these little cluster ions right here, they interact with our clouds and they cause the convection to rapidly intensify. Okay, that's where we're seeing our bombogenesis is when galactic cosmic rays or rays from the sun, from outside, okay, penetrate our ionosphere. They hit the clouds, they cause bigger cloud productivity. Also, we have more particles in the air creating more cloud productivity. Also, we have more water vapor content percentage in the air for water to cling to all those little particles, producing more clouds. All right. So remember, that's some of this part of this this chart I want to talk about and point out. Now, also, do you see this little squiggly line coming up from the Earth? That's natural radioactivity. The Earth emits radioactivity from the surface. The planet is so supercharged with energy that it's emitting radioactive material, radioactivity. Radioactivity so strong now that the Earth is emitting gamma rays, much like the sun does. Okay? That's how overcharged the Earth is. The Earth is emitting gamma rays. All right. Now, let's get into this article a little bit. It says, yes, Earth has a global electric circuit. Yes, we do. Okay. It's created by thunderstorms, it's created by what? Here's where we disagree. Earth's global electric circuit is not created by thunderstorms. It's created by the core spinning inside the shell. It's the gyro inside the Earth. That's what creates the electrical field around our planet, the global electric circuit. Okay, so there is a global electric circuit, but it's not created by thunderstorms, which build up and charge differences between the ground and the ionosphere 50 kilometers overhead, where there are about 40,000 thunderstorms per day all over the Earth, and we can think of them as batteries pumping electricity to the top of the atmosphere. Does that? Huh? Okay. A lot of this is correct, right? We do have a global electric circuit. It's created by the dynamo inside of our planet. The core spinning inside the shell it projects outwardly an electromagnetic field, much like you see in the little blue bubbles that emit over the backs of the creatures in Star Wars when they're on the battlefield and you see a little force field. All right, you can produce an electromagnetic force field. That's the one that's produced by our planet. The way it's produced is by spinning a metal spheroid inside a magnetically charged chamber. All right, it's like a little electric motor. You know, the little basic electric motors with the two wires that come out to, propel a simple little hand fan. Just your basic little electric motor from back in the 80s. All right, they're in all kinds of toys. That little electric motor, if you take the motor out and spin the crank arm and rotate the core yourself with your hand, out the other end will come electricity. It works opposite. When you put electricity into those wires, it spins the little shaft. That's how the global electric circuit is created. Okay. Now, these thunderstorms play their part in that global electric circuit. When we get bombarded by the sun, a huge CME, that superstorm, the geomagnetic superstorm, came pummeling through here, right? It penetrated our ionosphere. It also did all kinds of stuff up above. It charged all the global electric circuit that's already there. It gave it a higher jolt. It's like supercharging. It's like supercharging a battery that's already charged. It's like trying to jumpstart somebody else's car that's got a full battery. It just it overcharges it instead of doing anything. So it's important that we understand how this works. There is a global electric circuit. That's what creates your ionosphere. That's how it gets electrically charged, but it's emitted by this core spinning inside its shell. It's not created by thunderstorms, which build up and charge different between the ground. As soon as a thunderstorm creates one, it creates a charge. All right. When the thunderstorm stuff starts moving around, particles start moving around inside the thunderhead, it creates a charge. You get a positive charge in the air, a negative charge naturally forms on the ground. It's just basic electronics. When you got a positive, there's a negative that will form. All right. Then they want to connect, and that's where your lightning comes from. You'll get a liter of negative ions that reach up from the bottom and a liter of positive ions that reach down from below. And when they touch each other in midair, the whole thing lights up like one big electrical arc. Okay, that's what lightning is. Now, it did increase the resulting voltage. Where was it? There are about 40,000. The voltage drop was a staggering 25,000 volts. Voltage drop? There should have been an increase. All right, now let's get into this. On its own, air is not a great conductor of electricity. However, cosmic rays from deep space ionize our atmosphere, creating just enough conductivity for currents to flow in response to those 250,000 volts. The air you breathe is thus electrified. Okay, your air is already electrified. It just got electrified some more. Or it had a staggering 250,000 volt drop. Because maybe I don't think it would drop. The resulting voltage drop. How do you get a return? I'm gonna study this a little bit. I want to see exactly why we had this. Says plus 250,000, not negative. I think that might be a misprint. If it increased up here, yeah, it would decrease down here. So maybe that's what they're talking about. We had a decrease on the Earth because it got so charged up here from the geomagnetic storm hitting, charging up this side, creating a negative charge on the bottom. So plus 250, well, we would lose a little 250, right? So maybe that's the drop that they're referring to. But interesting, they got a lot of this stuff right. And what's important that you guys understand is the very air you breathe is thus electrified. It is electrified all the time. Okay, there's free electricity in the air. You could, if you know how to properly gather electricity out of the air, you can get free electricity from this global electric circuit, okay? But it's not created by thunderstorms. It's created by your core spinning inside the shell. Okay, now let's get over to the Schumann where we see the core spinning inside the shell. I don't want to tell them this one, Lord. I think they can just take a little peek at it themselves and just kind of see what's going on here. Grinding, quick release. Pressure built up again. We had a big pressure buildup and then a quick release, pressure built again, and a quick taper off. Went back to normal, quick little grind, back to normal, gradual building of pressure, a small tapering, gradual building again, quick release. Okay, a quick release of pressure is this drop right here. Then we continue on building pressure again, kind of sporadically, building, letting. It's not all concentrated. It's more diffused, a battling back and forth of this energy buildup, relief. Then we go normal, get a little buildup of pressure, and now look at what we're just endured. Let me get some fresh data right there. Okay, that's as fresh as it gets right there. What's kind of puzzling about this one is look at this one stripe right down the middle there. I think that might be a gap in data because I don't see this much in pressure built up that intensely, suddenly dropping and then suddenly building back. It might have been so intense that it may have, caused a little glitch in data, that one line right there. But you can see we had the buildup of pressure. It got really bad. It was screeching and growling and doing all kinds of stuff. In fact, I'm going to do this. Let me just veer off course here for fun for a minute. Let's just pull up some of these trumpet blasts here. Or some. All right, there's some good ones. After their ad. That's me eating my pizza tonight. Oh, this is all narration. How about something with the actual sounds? I want the actual sounds. This one's over Jerusalem. We'll play that one for a second. How about that? Did you know this happened over Jerusalem? When the core and the shell grind, they emit this low frequency out of the Earth. It emits from the Earth, goes up, hits the ionosphere, and bounces back down as an echo. This instrument detects the echoes. What you hear, those That's the core and the shell grinding together. That's what it sounds like.
Whoa. Whoa, listen.
Okay, your skyquakes, that sound, that trumpet sound of that metal grinding on metal is this right here. Okay, not every time do you hear them. It has to be properly where these bounce up, they hit the ionosphere, they come back down, other ones coming back down, crisscross. Once they crisscross and they start to crisscross all the way down, they become more audible. Then it makes it sound like this is coming from the sky because it's echoing off the ionosphere. Do you understand? Your skyquake mystery is solved. No longer a mystery. And here's where we had a very intense session just now, just kind of tapering out of it. There wasn't a big, very drastic decrease. This looks like a tapering, really. From that intense, this looks like a tapering. Okay. When you have, really intense like this, and then just a sudden drop right there, that's a sudden release right at that one. But this one looks more like a gradual increase, and then a gradual decrease. Okay, so we just went through all of these frequencies, extremely intense frequencies. They weren't just frequencies humming at at a low. It's like taking the volume and turning it all the way up. All right, so if you've been on this emotional roller coaster, painful, excruciatingly painful, and emotional thrown in. Shoot, you might as well throw in the spiritual one too. Are you having all three at the same time? Because I am. That's it. I can't even describe it. Spiritual, emotional, and physical pain, all three at the same time. It's just anyways, let's move on. Nope, change that real quick. All right, let's get over here to our upper jet stream. Kathy, I'm glad you're here, sweetie. You look nice and blue. All right, happy for you. Okay, here we are on the upper northwest coast. You see all of our flow coming in, going up over. Look at this little rotating thing right here, shoving everything up and over. But that's way up there. That's way up underneath the ionosphere. This is your upper jet that's, below the electrified area. Come down to your lower jet, you see your correlations there. Okay, still same kind of setup right there. But that setup doesn't necessarily show up in our weather all the time. And you can see our result here in the weather down below, the same splitting up right here and going southward down the coast. Usually there's big storm fronts that come into the west and lash the west. Boom, and then they move across the country. Everything is just going south. It has been for a while. So there's this flow on the west coast. Meanwhile, we have this flow, thank you, coming out of the Caribbean into the Gulf of Mexico and then streaming right up through the central part of the country up into Canada, looping over, coming back down. All right. That's your storms. That's where most of your storms and your moisture and everything are all riding, is on this flow right here. Okay. Not good, because it looks like we're getting stuck in this kind of oscillating flow right here, where it brings more moist air from the mid-Atlantic through the warm waters of the Caribbean into the hotter waters of the Gulf, and then That hot, moist air mixed with cold air is just going to be a recipe for disaster. And with our heat shifting further and further north, our tornado alley is going to creep up where the colder air is. It's going to be so hot and humid down below this line here that you probably won't see. It'll be just all muggy and rain. It'll be too dense for tornado activity. You won't see that until it hits cold air up here in Canada. So watch out, people in Canada. You might become the new, like, tornado alley for a little while until, patterns shift. So there's that for right now, okay? Now I want to take you over here to the particulates, please, Lord. Thank you. All right. Real quick, you can see that this big old sand plume is blowing sand across here. One thing about the sand is it does disrupt the convection activity in the hurricanes themselves. So this can disrupt hurricane activity, but with the waters being so hot and our hurricane activity going to be so volatile that it might just still produce hurricanes. They're just going to be, well, sandy or muddy hurricanes, mudcanes. Okay. Hang on. No. Please pull that down. Thank you. Okay, so just rotating around real quick, you can see the intensity of this one over here in the Gobi Desert is picked up. See how white it is right there? The intensity of this one's picked up too. Little speckles here and there across Saudi Arabia. Look at this plume going off of Africa into the Mediterranean here, towards Sicily, the boot of Italy right there. So we got a big old sandstorm heading towards that region. But you see the wind patterns are going to make it curl back around. Let me just change color real quick to a different micron size, very similar. Okay, you can see a little bit better defined in this. And this dust storm been gone since November of last year, all through the winter, spewing sand out across the Atlantic all winter long. Nobody seemed to notice it. There's no reports on the news, nobody else. So I'll just keep reporting on it. There's your sandstorm conditions. Now let's get over to our SO2, shall we? And I'll take the wind off for right now. Okay, so here we are. Our country divided, the one that's bleeding out on one side and it's all clearing up on the other because we got all this, perforations in the crust and SO2 pushing out. So every time, it's almost like I have control of it or something, huh? So there's your conditions. And it looks a little lighter, to tell you the truth. That was a little darker yesterday. Are we on the right time frame here? Oh, no. We're not even on the right date. No wonder why I look so nice. Dang. No, that was right there. Okay. All right. We better now. I want the 18th. Yes. Good. So, let's try one more time, shall we? Boom. Still the same effect. A little darker up in this region up in here. Right and through there. You can see the wind patterns are taking all of this and swooping it up that way. Let me put the wind back on real quick. Watch this. See that? See how your wind patterns have taken every plume and, redirected it up north here. And you can see your whole plume up here through there. Let me take the wind off again now. All up through here is all the gas from here. has been pushed up there. While we're here, let's take a peek at South America. We are not in the right time, dude. This thing is not correct. What is going on? We're on their time. What happened here? Our main one. The other ones kind of died down a little bit, but these ones have darkened a little bit. Up here, these ones are darker a little bit too. This whole coastline getting nice and purple too, so still some pressure in that region. All right, let's get over it here real quick. Back to my I said, whoops, right there again. All right. A lot of pressure in their region. This affects the ground as well, makes it porous. The more gas comes out, it moves little particles in those little pathways, and then rain gets in there and moves more dirt around, and it just shuffles back and forth and stuff, and it just keeps making the ground looser and looser. Meanwhile, this is all SO2 being pushed out by the magma down below. Pretty dark purple in their region. And come on down to good old Java here. You can see this little site, and then right here, a lot of SO2 coming out of these regions right here. The whole island is basically purple. And look how Sumatra here is starting to get a lot of SO2 emissions. It's filling in too. All right, we had our increase in pressure from last night. We have an increase in pressure again because of this. All right, so it's going to translate into earthquake and volcanic activity and SO2 emissions. All right, let's get on over to our the ocean one. This one's been the most important lately. Are we on the right day? Really? Can I get some data there? All right, so this is our last bit of data that we have. As you can see, this region's still kind of warming up through here. Okay, we'll talk about that later. This big yellow bar is broken up. It was one yellow long, straight piece, but this little end now is starting to pick up an intensity a little bit. Now you see the yellow starting to shine again right out here. We had this new little spot up here that relieved pressure in the area and reduced this whole yellow bar and broke it down into, so it wasn't so intense. And now look at this over here. We got emissions coming out of the seafloor over here off the Kamchatka now. This little is new, it looks like. All this in the region here might be relieving pressure as well. See this site and this site, maybe even something. Nope, not that one. Okay. So there's your temperature anomalies. I want to talk about Taiwan a little bit. We see this increase in pressure growing right here. See how it's starting to turn yellow? We're starting to see little hints of it down here now. That's pressure growing in the region. Remember, there was cold water back on this side. We had cold water inundation on this side. Well, that's disappeared because pressure's building in this region. We need a good quake. There's going to be a big quake right here at the fulcrum point if we don't have pressure releases. There's Japan. This whole region heating up. Okay, the sea between Korea and Japan. All right, all of Korea is going to get surrounded by hot water. That's because they're literally in hot water. If they only knew what the hell they were doing, they would stop. If everybody on the face of the planet knew what was going on, they would. Don't look now. It's almost too late. Meanwhile, growing spot right there. Africa. All right, let me talk about this for a second. I just want to ask everybody out there, are you aware of what season we're going into right now? Are we going into our summertime in the northern hemisphere. Yes, we are. We're going into our summertime. Summertime in the northern means wintertime in the southern. So, wintertime in the southern hemisphere, the water between the tip of Africa and Antarctica gets very, very cold in the winter time. The winter time. It's winter time here, you guys. And we know why, because all these heat plumes, there's venting going on the ocean floor, pushing heat plumes up, and we're getting hot water off the tip of South Africa, between the tip of South Africa and Antarctica. Yeah, we're getting blazing hot water in the middle of winter time. Nothing wrong there. That's totally normal. That's just. Sorry, I'm being sarcastic, but it's. We'll get into the spiritual report and you'll understand why. I've been so patient, so tolerant, so forgiving. It's like it just gets taken advantage of. Again, down here, we're at the tip of South America and Antarctica, where the water's really cold down here. Okay. Really cold down here between the tips of South America and South Australia, down in this region. Super cold, isn't it? This thing just screams, we have problems, we have problems, we have problems. Houston, we have a problem, and nobody's like looking at it or addressing it. Mike is, thankfully, maybe he'll get more of the world's attention than I do, because apparently nobody likes me. Let's get over to, I want this back here. Lord, give me the oceans. I'm right to here. You know what, the wind. Okay. I'm just going to let that sink in for a minute. Let's see if any of you can make the connection. Do you see your air currents correlating with your temperature zones? The underwater hot anomalies, the vents are controlling the weather, the air patterns. The rising hot water, when hot water rises, cold water comes in to replace it, so that creates vortexes. Well, the same thing happens in the air. Air's a lot like water, it has a lot of water in it. So when hot air rises, cold air comes in to replace it and causes a vortex. We are getting one big vortex rotating here that matches the heat signature. Okay. Let's move on. I can't look at it anymore. Let's just get into this. No really deep quake right here in our region. We have this 5.9 at a depth of 35 here, a 6. Remember I was telling you last night how we're going to see an increase in magnitude and see 6s? Well, that's a 6 right there. What do we do with 9s at this place? Yeah, there's your 6. What's this? A mid-range 5 at the surface. 5.6 instead of a mid-range 4, we're seeing 5.6. I'll go back to that if you want to see it again. Scratch. I have to take a break from it because I know what it is, and it makes me sick to my stomach. There's a 4.9. You know what we do with 4.9s here, especially at a depth of 10. 5.3. There's a little increase in magnitude. 5.2. There's an increase in magnitude. Look at these quakes all around this area that's been quiet. This has been our quiet area for quite a while because of all the volcanic activity, right? There's our deep quake, 272 in the little pocket there. Now, all of this energy right here. We have not seen a quake in here in a while. All right. 5.6. Another 5. Another 5. Another 5. A bunch of 5s right here, a mid-range 5 and a 6, all around the surface after those deep quake activity we had there yesterday. Still quiet all through here. Mainly volcanic activity, relieving pressure through there. No fulcrum point quake, no China quake, nothing. Look how quiet that region is. And we have an increase of pressure. So we're either seeing increase in volcanoes or we're about to see a lot more earthquake. Well, we've seen a lot of pressure relieved right there. That's for sure. Okay, so let's get on up to our fulcrum point quake here at Taiwan. It was a 4.7 at a depth of 18, but there was only one. I want to see a lot more than that. Okay, not too big of magnitude, but we're going to need more release in that area because we saw this pressure building up here. Whoops, take the wind off. These heat signatures indicate pressure building up in the region. Right there and right there. And bingo, we had an earthquake, but it's not enough. We'll be seeing more out of that region. Meanwhile, coming up here to Japan, we had a 4.5 at 45.5. Up here at North Japan, 4.3 at 76. Very quiet around this region because of all the volcanic activity. Popping over, we had a 3.7 at the surface. Let's go ahead and bust out all magnitudes now. Okay, boom, that's our 3.7, right? Yeah, okay, depth of 10, not much. Looks like it came all good micro quaking. A little bit here in the Puget Sound, not too much, 1.9s. I'm looking at volcanic sites, nothing at Rainier today, but Mount Shasta had a 1.6. Okay, a couple little microquakes there. Indication that magma moving around down there, pressure in that region, relieving at the surface there. Let's get out. 2.4 there. What came in up here? 1.6. All right, lots of microquaking around the geysers, relieves a lot of pressure before it reaches the Bay Area. Here we go, a couple little quakes. It's in the water. No, right on land right here. This quarry, are you kidding me? Okay, let me tell you something real quick here. When you're in the sand that's right next to water, it doesn't take much to find water. When you dig down, when you're at the beach and you dig down into the sand, you dig down a foot and you run into water because water has inundated underneath. The sand isn't like, it's almost sitting on top of water. It's sitting on top of liquefaction type structure with water included. Okay. So when you make an open pit mine and dig down, you're going to hit water. Right? Have you ever done this at the beach? Do you see what they did here? No, you don't see what they did here. They weakened the structure of this peninsula from there to there. All of that is all weakened now because they took all this supporting structure out of the way, all the way down to the water. What happens when it rains a bunch and this fills in with water? All that's going to slough away. All of it. The whole thing might just slough away. This quake right here is an indication that that's about to happen. There's movement right around. See the surface at 1.5? This whole thing is sloughing. You know, very, very stupid. Why would you do something like that? Lord help me, I was about to do it again. I was gonna. Here we are with 1.9 in Berkeley. All right, this is that Hayward fault zone, or these fault systems that run parallel with the San Andreas. So this kind of runs parallel with that fault system and stuff. Good idea. Put a big old hole right there on a fault too. Oh boy. 2.6 here. That little almost 3. Microquaking going on down here. That's good. Very spread out activity. That's good. Relieving pressure all around the region in the microquake form. We all know what's going on here. I want to take a peek what's going on right there. Oklahoma, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, here we go. Remember last night I was talking about we haven't seen anything in these two regions because, well, we haven't had pressure buildup in a while. Well, now we have pressure buildup, and look which two places decide to have a little movement. 2.3 in Charleston, Missouri. Fulcrum Point quake of the New Madrid. Bing. Going up here to our weak spot right next to New York City. 1.9 here. Okay, so you're going to see it's a weak spot. And when we see pressure build up, if we see these spots act up, well, they're still weak. There's still potential targets for pressure. Now, look at this right here. This is good. We finally seen a decent release. 5.0 at the surface here. Plate boundary quake on the Cocos Plate. Another fulcrum point quake interior 5.5. It's thicker crust or thicker material right here, so it's down at 104. Your fulcrum is pointing that way. Okay, you got your weak zone that's in the foothills. This is foothill area. More, you can almost see pressure ridges in the ground structure running away from this. Let me pull back just a tad right there. And here in that ridge zone is your 5.5. See all this? This is reactionary from the fulcrum pushing this way. Okay, other fulcrum point quakes, that's a little far south. 4.2. That's not it. 4.3. See what our biggest quake in here was today. 3.2. 3.4. What else is hiding in here? Okay. Imagine that this area is probably gonna, when we see pressure increases, you'll see increase of magnitude in that region as well. I think that may have covered it. Nothing on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. They're probably, where's the other earthquake today, Lord? It's not on the map. It was in Florida? Was it in Florida? I think it was in Florida or somebody had a quake today that's not on this map. I think it was in Florida. And that's a sign of sloughing activity going on too, because water inundation here at Florida, the more rain they get, this is a sandbar. So imagine if you built a little sandbar at the beach, and then you continue to dump buckets of water on top of it. It's going to dilute it down, spread it out, and see how everything's spread out here? It's just going to keep doing that and wash away all that. Plus, you're going to have water inundation up from below in the sand. It's a region to maybe consider, selling property and getting out of there. That's up to you, though. I would get away from the coastlines. Okay, so there's your earthquake report. Get on over. Oh, ow. Excuse me. Over here to our volcano report here. Now, we were talking about Etna needing activity. Well, here we are inside the crater. Here's two little domes that were already there. There's a third little plume that grows right here. All right, so new lava coming out of the crater in Etna. All right, the latest Sentinel-2 images of the volcano over the past 3 days revealed new thermal radiation in the Varangi crater. The first detected signal was identified on June 15th and gradually intensified as seen from space on June 17th. This has been confirmed by video footage. Okay, so Etna coming to life. I told you. Ebu, 14,000 feet. It's a good one. Flight level. Where to go? Reported eruption at. Where's the flight level? All right. Semaru, 15,000 feet. Ducono, 7,000 feet. Popocatépetl, Novier, Sabancaya, 18,000 feet. And that was in the 18th. Let's pop open what was today is now yesterday, the 17th. All right, so here we go. Manam, explosive continues. Activity continues, 7,000 feet. Ebu, 14,000. Luatobi, 7. Look at this big old plume right here coming out of intense explosion from Luatobi. Okay? Poof. A bunch more ash into your air. More particulates. No significant change. Volcanic type explosions. Plumes that reach 10,000. Okay, Luatolo. Semaru, 15, pumping its maximum. Marapi, 11,000. Ducono, 7,000. The Home Reef in the Tonga Islands, continued activity, unknown OBS, but still on the red list. Popocatépetl, explosive activity continues with an 18,000-foot blast. They're just day after day after day after day, 18, 19, 20, 22,000-foot blasts out of Popo. Here's Nevada del Ruiz. I was just saying last night how this one, the semi-active 21,000-foot blast. We're just talking about that last night. Watch out for Nevada del Ruiz going active. There it is, 21,000. Revenador, 14. Sabancaya, 18. These lists are, I wish we could shock you with these lists. We've watched them grow over so much time that it's like watching your own kid grow. But when you haven't seen his friend in 15 years and you see him, all of a sudden you see a dramatic change in that kid. Well, it's like the boiling frog. Same thing. If you see it every day and every day and every day, it's just no big deal. This should scream volumes. Etna, gonna be over there. Nevada del Ruiz. Remember what I was saying? It's over here on this list, should be over here. What did we see out of Nevada del Ruiz? Am I blind? No, they just think you're stupid. I don't. Stop. Just go, Brian. Nevada del Ruiz should be over here. Watch out for tofu in the Tonga Islands. All of these are currently erupting. No big deal. It's just, a bunch of currently erupting volcanoes spewing a bunch of pressure out. All right. So what we need, we got a bunch of pressure that just came in. Whoops, where's the Schumann, right? So I expect to see here increases in, well, we already see this one. We've seen increases in other ones. We've seen a new one pop on there. We got these other sites up here that have opened up here and here. So we got all kinds of other places that are underwater too that are venting pressure as well. So let's do this one more time. Somebody call the president. No, don't call the president. Somebody call. I don't think there's anybody who's honest enough to give you the lowdown of what you're looking at. I'm gonna let that sit there for a second. I gotta step away and say a prayer for a minute because this image kind of giving me sick to my stomach here. Unless you want to see something different for the moment I step away. In fact, maybe we'll put the weather up. You guys want to see the weather for a minute? Yeah, let's just do that instead because that correlates. You remember I was saying the other night we had this matchup, this correlation of heat to flow. That was, very, matched up really well. It was like this. Imagine one big hurricane right out here, or this being the conveyor belt with the hurricane every, evenly spaced. Bing, bing, bing. So, like 10 hurricanes rotating around this conveyor belt like that, taking out this and taking out that, and then moving over here and taking out all this, moving up there, taking all that, going over and just doing it over and over and over and over. Look how the heat signature is forming a spiral too. Where's the weather? I'll let that load up for a minute. Let you guys take a peek at that. I will be back in 1 second. Guys, say a prayer here. Oh, Lord. Give them strength. Give them strength. We're going to need it. All right, I'm back. Thanks for sticking in there. Those of you who did. Now let's take a peek at this weather and start talking about the crazy weather we're going to be experiencing here. So let's just get into it. Let this loop finish up, come around, catch the beginning of it, and hop into this. All right, so opening frame. This is the nighttime of June 17th. Still severe weather up here, North Dakota, Minnesota area. Let me slide this. All right, nighttime of the 17th, current conditions. There's your morning of the 18th. All right, so it's going to get really nasty up here in northern Minnesota, south, North Dakota, up into Canada right there. Morning hours for tomorrow morning. There's noontime. Convection. There's a small little sliver of convection forming right here as this approaches the Texas coast. Then tomorrow night, there we go with that same quasi-linear convective storm front right here. All right, with this going to be a dangerous situation, even up here in Canada too, stretching all the way down, covering all these states. It might even reach further down. We'll see if it connects with this and draws up moisture. You could possibly see a little connector maybe here. We'll see what happens. But that's going to be tomorrow night. Okay, so everybody in the region, get ready because severe weather there. There's your break. Tomorrow during the noon hours is your break, your chance to get ready because convective is starting. And then by nighttime, it just goes ballistic. All right. We'll see what happens here. The tornado potential could be high, it could be low. What you will definitely see, though, is flash flooding, large hail. All right. Texas just broke a record with 7.25 inches. I showed you all the particulates in the air. I showed you all the moisture that's being added to the air to add to those particulates. With increasing wind speeds, we're going to see increases in hail size, okay? 7.25 inches is not too far away from bowling ball sized hail, okay? There is the morning time of June 19th. So through the night, into the morning, severe weather. In the morning, we have severe weather. This thing making landfall on the coast of Texas. The morning of the 19th, there's noon, convection. All of southern Texas, from here on down to Mexico, is just going to be one big storm. Okay? There's purple in there. It went beyond red. There's pink and purples in there. That'll be the nighttime. So all day on the 19th, boom, 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 boom. So that's the nighttime of the 19th. Morning of the 20th, it's still there. It's moving into Mexico. Even people here in Mexico, all you people that are on the border right there trying to get into this country right now, I wouldn't do it on that day. Or you could try. There's noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 21st, noon, convection, nighttime. Nighttime activity again, Minnesota. Morning of the 22nd, noon, convection, nighttime. Another nighttime event right here, Great Lakes area, back down into Iowa and Illinois. Morning of the 23rd, noon, convection, nighttime. Severe weather up here at night in Canada, up in Montana too. Morning of the 24th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 25th. Let's look at this. Nothing at night, but morning convection here. Wow. Noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 26th. Jeez, look at that. From the convection of the 25th through the night and into the morning here in Iowa, That'll be the noon time. Look up at Canada. Look at this coming in here to Louisiana. There's your convection of the 26th, nighttime. Morning of the 27th, up here in North Dakota again, noon. Convection, nighttime. Ugh. I pray that doesn't happen. That is 990 low millibar. 991. At nighttime on June 27th, this linear storm front, QLCS, with these isolated cells, that is not a pretty picture. I pray that is changes, okay, and it decreases. It doesn't intensify. There's your morning of the 28th, residual effects from that night, from that morning residuals on the 28th, noon. Wow, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 29th, it clears out, noon, convection, nighttime. 30th, noon, convection, nighttime. June 1st, morning of the 1st, right there. Convection, noon, convection, nighttime. The 2nd, noon, convection, nighttime. These are so far out in advance it'll change. See where the region where this hits? Same region. That's right now. That's in the morning. Noon. Convection tomorrow. Tomorrow night. Everybody get ready for tomorrow night in that area. Expect high winds, power outages. We can see derecho type events with big wind gusts hitting big cities and terrorizing big cities. Like Houston had their big wind event. You could see high winds, large hail, flash flooding, tornadoes. Okay, you might see strong, long track tornadoes. We'll see what happens as we get closer here to tomorrow night. Watch everything blossom tomorrow. At convection right about here. Start, watching your skies and tracking them. Even though it's, nighttime, you can track it on radar. You got all kinds of weather guys. If you live in this region, I would just start getting ready right now because you're just hours away. Okay? Look how many frames. 1, 2, 3, 4 frames away from that event. This will be 11 p.m. Pacific, 1 in the morning through that area. So a lot of people will be lulled here at convection when there's not a bunch of activity and tornadoes and thunderstorms going on. They'll be lulled into thinking it's okay to go to bed. And then while they're asleep, that'll happen. When they wake up, it'll be like that. These people will wake up to this. By noon, Texas turn now. And then that right there, convection on the 19th and nighttime of the 19th. Everybody in that region, prepare. You got time now to, prepare, evacuate, however you're going to prepare. All I can do is just show you what the models are showing and give you the knowledge. What you do with it is your decision. You're grown adults and stuff. I just try to warn you when I see stuff that's life-threatening, going to be dangerous. That right there. And then later on, watch that region. There it goes again. All right, so that event will be on the 27th. Okay, so that's enough of that. We did our volcanoes, we did all our geophysics, astrophysics. Now it's time to get down to the metaphysics. We have dealt with a lot of disturbing information, and this is over the city of Jerusalem. See this circle in the sky? Harmonics coming down from above, causing the clouds. Also, some of these are spiritual events in nature. When we get, what's this one? I'm going to show you a little difference in the sounds. Oh.
Sweden, this sure sounds like a trumpet.
Listen to
Guys, what is going on?
Strange sounds are being heard around the world. In Sweden, this sure sounds like a trumpet. In Michigan, another trumpet-like sound. In British Columbia, Canada, Dr. Glenn McPherson says he...
No. Anyways, your sound's being created by your core grinding on the shell. Let me pull down some of these instruments here. We'll get into our spiritual report tonight. Where should we start, Lord? I got so much. Pull up some images here. Wait. It's okay. Tom's a good guy. You should go over and visit the Watchman River. I like him. Sometimes it's just good to hear a nice, calm voice. All right, so I wanted to go to the videos here.
Howdy folks, welcome back. So snapping some pictures of the clouds yesterday, and I noticed something forming in the clouds, what looked like a face over here. And I'm going to start zooming in on this face because it's a real face. And if you look back behind it here, let's zoom in just a little bit. You'll notice that back behind here, this face is being projected by Jesus's heart right here. You can see it radiating out. Here's Jesus's face. He's pulling open his shirt, exposing his heart. His heart's radiating out this image in the sky. See this face here? And there's a crown right here. Also in the etherical, in black, there's another crown right here. Anyways, I just wanted to show you this picture.
There we go. That's a good shot right there where you can see him pulling his shirt open, exposing his heart. Real stuff happening in your clouds, in your skies, if you just look up. But I don't know. Don't look now, because when you see stuff happening in your skies, it might shock you. You might start seeing, well, stuff like this. Let's pull this one up. Strange sound.
So you think you know Wix, but do you really?
No, don't
First
care
up,
to
we've
either.
got-
This is the sounds in the sky. They didn't see the face.
Calculate облак. Create. Облак došao na zemlju, čoveče.
Okay, so you guys understand what's going on here. You see the face. It's the same broken nose face with the little crown here, and he's growling, spitting lightning, right? Now, you folks at this channel are so used to seeing this that if it happened, it wouldn't shock you. You understand it's real, you understand how it works, and you understand what's going on. So it wouldn't shock you. But anybody else start looking up now and seeing this stuff, they won't know. They haven't been paying attention. They're too busy looking at all the worthless junk in this world and being spoon-fed this crap out of the mainstream media. They gobble it up. And it's like they're so devoted to the deception that when something like this happens, it's like, nah, don't look up. Because you and I will rejoice when we see this. We'll go, yeah, that's our Father, getting the bad guys and coming to get the good guys, right? You'll be relieved when you see the teacher. Everybody else is going to be petrified when this happens. And it's already happening. Dude, it's already taking place. Don't you see? It's taking place already. You know what the beauty of this one is it's in slow motion because the spiritual realm's in different dimensions, right? So things happen at different speeds, at different zoom. If you were too close to this, you couldn't see it. You can't see this face unless you're back away from it. So it's angles, perspectives, different dimensions, and different speeds. So I'm going to double the speed because it makes it a lot clearer. And we're going to play this again and listen to the sound because this is more than just your skyquakes now. This is more than just the grinding of the shell and the core reverberating off the atmosphere. We also have a spiritual effect to our skyquakes as well. I sped it up a little bit. You hear the harmonic tones, the boom, like an organ or whatever. And here it is, spitting lightning. Remember I showed you Jesus with his staff? And he put his staff down and be a bolt of lightning just like this. And it's coming right out of his mouth. Right? This face is spitting lightning and growling at the people below. And you do not have to worry about that because we got this, don't we? Let me get this, please, Lord. Here I come to save the day. Right. See the broken nose? See the ridge over here? Let me get a still of this one. Go back to the albums. Right there. See the white little arch over the nose right there from the multiple broken noses? He's got the same arch over his nose. Well, here, it was so hard to capture that image right there, so, but it's same thing. It's a good thing you're on the good side and not on the bad side. Let's just say that much, huh? Good thing you found this channel. See all these pictures? They're all hand-taken pictures. Holding my cell phone up to the sky until all the blood runs out of my arms, until my heart races so fast, the palpitations holding it up. It's so intense that, so painful and intense that the clouds mimic me grimacing in pain, holding up my cell phone, taking pictures of them. All right, so the clouds are mimicking me, taking pictures of them. Do you understand what that means? They recognize me. They're projecting my face in the clouds. Actually, it's Jesus who's projecting my face in the clouds wearing a crown. So when you see my face in the clouds wearing a crown, it's being projected by Jesus's heart, right? These are real miracles. There's only one person who can show you a real, true miracle. Only one person can show you a real, true miracle. And you're looking at a real, true miracle. I am that person who can do that. Do you grasp that concept? Okay, good. All right. We got other stuff. What other stuff before reading, Lord? What? Oh, really? Okay. We're going to do a little audio thing, too. You guys are probably... We're going to go through that man walking in the clouds. Where is it, man? Sorry about the profanity, but... All right, we're going to slow this down. Actually, that first part's at 0.5. At the very, very opening, the very first noises, sounds that you hear are the spiritual realm saying, Jesus Christ is close. And then it says, he is the Christ who's coming quickly. So let me capture this real quick. Oh, Jesus is close. He is the Christ who's coming quickly. The wolf. Oh. All right. So he is the Christ who's coming quickly. Plays better at 0.75. Oh. Hopefully you guys can hear. He is the Christ who's coming quickly. All right. There's also another message further on down here. Let's slow that one down, 2.25. Actually, go right there. All right. It says right, Jesus in the flesh. The first one is right. And then the second one, when he touches down his cane, says, now here. Here. All right. So let me try this one more time. I think we're one click too slow. Let's go 7.5 on that. Back it up to right about there. Try and capture this one more time. Oh, sorry. All right, can you hear where it says right here, here? All right, that's the spiritual realm whispering electromagnetic imprint on the audio on this guy's video. He didn't know it was saying that. He probably still doesn't. Every time he plays this video, he probably has no clue that stuff's going on in the background. Because if he did, it would really freak him out. As if what he recorded wasn't enough. If you heard the stuff matching it, it would probably give you a heart attack. The guy who bought the new camera and took the video of the face on the moon, he's probably having some issues he's grappling with right now because he experienced that. He knows what he saw is true for real because he experienced it, much like these people experienced this event. It's shocking to your system, and then you go into denial that it happened. So just real quick, Jesus is in the flesh, here, okay? Here, like here, like right here at this channel, here, right now, here, with you, here. Pretty cool, huh? I thought it was impossible. Dude doesn't exist. Nope. It was this. It was that. Nope, not gonna happen. Yeah, boy, were they all wrong. And boy, aren't you guys lucky. You are blessed. Okay. Now, before I kind of get into the reading tonight, I gotta explain why I've been in these weird moods lately. I have a bad hip, okay? I got a couple bad hips. And one of them is, it's excruciatingly painful to walk on, all right? A shattered hip, and my sciatic nerve in my hip socket pinches every time I take a step, right? And it lights me up from head to toe, from all the way up the back of my calf, through my hamstring, through my hip socket, up my back, and in my neck, and into my head, right? So every time I take a step, it lights me up like a Christmas tree. All right. It's excruciatingly painful to walk. But I got to do a lot of walking, right? So imagine stabbing yourself in the hip socket so deep you hit your sciatic nerve. You do it yourself. You intentionally stab yourself and inflict pain on yourself, because that's what I do every time I take a step with my left leg. It's like purposely, I know it's going to hurt. I purposely have to take a step. I purposely put my foot down, right, to walk. So I am inflicting pain on myself when I walk. Imagine stabbing yourself in the hip every other step. All right, just to do your basic stuff in life, right? Now, you're enduring pain to help others. You don't show it, try not to reflect it. It's paralyzing pain, a numbing pain to where you go to put your leg down and there's no strength there and your leg collapses and you fall. So imagine not knowing every left foot you plant. You know it's going to hurt, but you're also questioning, is it going to hold my weight? every left foot you plant. So get yourself a pedometer, walk around through the course of your day, and take that number and cut it in half and stab yourself in the hip that many times per day, willingly. Willingly. Not many people would do that. But that's what I endure every day for you, because I love you guys, right? It's excruciatingly physical. I'm also getting attacked because I don't move fast enough, or people like to get in my way, and they're always merging with my path. I'm trying to walk in a straight line through the store very slowly, limping along, and everybody manages to merge, and I have to change my direction. Nobody will lift a finger to change and alter course themselves. No, I go through the excruciating pain of putting on the brakes. Oh, go ahead, cut in front of me. I know you have no awareness of where you're at. You have no clue where you're going. Everything's so shiny, and you're so distracted that you have no awareness of somebody who's disabled right next to you. Instead of holding the door open, you're so oblivious, you let the door swing, slam right in my face. And I'm like, thanks for holding the door open. No, wait. Before I reach and open the door, somebody's got to, cut in front of me real quick, too. And it's like, wow. And I have to endure this every day, everywhere I go, forgiving every single person because they have no idea that they just cut me off, made me go through excruciating pain to I suffer the consequences for their lack of knowledge because they are unaware of what they do. They have no consideration for others. Very self-centered, selfish type people who walk around oblivious of other people. Today, I had a lady ahead of me in traffic who proceeded to pull away from the stoplight and go about 10 miles an hour in a 50 zone. We have a series of intersections in our town where if you catch the first one, a green light, you get up to said speed limit, you can make every intersection on green once you start from that first one and reach the speed limit. No, this lady insists on just doing 10 miles an hour. She never got above 10. She insisted on going just 10 miles an hour, holding everybody up. Nobody made it through the light. When I finally got next to her to say, please get off of your phone, I can't say what she said. Well, I can. She said, fuck you, I'm texting. That was what she said while driving. Screamed that out the window to me. Fuck you, I'm texting. I'm sorry, I thought you were driving. You're on the road, in the middle of an intersection, green light, you're causing an accident. I'm sorry, sweetie. You are just so important. The world needs to stop for you. You're texting while driving. Yeah. I could have swore that was illegal, but I guess everybody just lost their moral code when the phone came along, because it's everybody. Every red light, I look around, and I'm the only one looking around. Everybody else is looking down in their lap like there's some pot of gold hiding between their legs. And then it reflects back up and illuminates their face with some light coming from between their legs. Must be a pot of gold between their legs when they're driving, right? Yeah. And just without a care in the world, 2-ton vehicle could kill anybody. No, fuck you, I'm texting. Now that gets to me. Okay? And I have to do a lot of spiritual work, forgive them. They know not what they do. And I've put up with it for so long. I'm going to start taking action. Okay. I'm no longer just going to smile and wave and say, okay, go ahead and be stupid. No, I'm going to start putting knowledge out there because it's the lack of knowledge that causes that behavior. And the only thing I can do to try to help you people change is by giving you knowledge. Try practicing some consideration for others, because what you do has ramifications in the spiritual realm. There's a certain individual on this planet that you really, really, really don't want to piss off. And like the last thing you should really do when he kind of calls you on your stuff, hey, don't text and drive. Don't you dare turn around. I'm trying to do you a favor and save your life. Don't you dare turn around and look at me and tell me while you're driving, while you're breaking the law, no, fuck you, I'm texting. She announced it to the whole intersection. So I'm going to get a PA system maybe. You know, like the cops have, hey, pull over to the right. That way I can tell everybody at the intersection, all right, people, phones down. Everybody get prepared. The light's about to turn green. Lift your foot off the brake, put it over by the accelerator, and in 3, 2, 1, there's your green light. Can we proceed now faster than 10 miles an hour? I have groceries. I have to get back and cook dinner for a family. I have priorities in my life. Unlike you who plans your texting around driving, or you're driving around your texting. I don't know. But it's a social disease. It's an addiction. It's a terrible addiction. It's worse than drunken driving. Anyway, sorry, I'm venting. Lord help me. It's important that you guys take note of your actions, because I have put in extra effort to recover from that, just to mid-recovery to get kicked in the balls again. Mid-recovery, just keep going. Salvage this day, keep working and salvaging the day. Okay. Look at that texting. Yeah, I could see. You're holding up everybody. And the gall, the nerve, the audacity, the ego, the narcissism, the selfishness has just got to go. It has to go. How are we all supposed to get along with all these other people? Just have no clue. Okay. So, hot off the streets, going to my notes. Let me take a deep breath and get a sip here. So, I took what happened today and what I endured and afflicted with, giving you the tools and techniques that I had to use to overcome it, okay, today. Right now, we're in that process right now. I'm actually doing my work right now through this show with you. I am working on myself at the same time. This is part of how I work on myself, is through this show. I had to go back in my notes, and this was an important one. I had to remind myself, do not long for the absence of problems in your life. That is an unrealistic goal. What is an unrealistic goal? Longing for the absence of problems. Might as well just face it. Okay. Sometimes it's just, you admit, okay, I'm going to have problems today. Unforeseen. Just prepare for it. So do not long for the absence of problems. It's an unrealistic goal. This world, you will have trouble. And remember this, you have an eternity of problem-free living reserved for you in heaven. Okay, see that foundation right there? That is also your problem-free living reserved for you in heaven. So it's important to get this reminder when you see this and all that disturbing news and the stories and the infliction and pain and stuff. It's unrealistic to think every day is going to be perfect, right? So you will have an eternity of these perfect days. It's just not right now. So rejoice in that the inheritance you have in heaven reserved for you, an eternity of problem-free living, which no one can take away from you. But do not seek your heaven here on earth. Don't seek your heaven here on earth. It can be found, but don't seek it here on earth. It's found with me. Now, I had to kind of go backtrack a little bit and tell you this. Begin each day anticipating problems. There we go. I did not start the day. Well, I'm learning to start each day anticipating problems. All right. And then if no problems happen, you're pleasantly surprised. But each day will have its trouble. So begin each day just accepting that you're going to have problems. You begin it anticipating problems, asking me to equip you for whatever difficulties you will encounter. The best equipping is my living presence, okay? Knowing that I'm here alive, I'm a real person, I'm back. Rejoice in that inheritance. The best equipment is my living presence. Knowing that I'm here, I exist. It's a real deal. Knowing your inheritance, knowing my living presence is the best equipment. And knowing also that my hand never lets go of yours. That's important too. So you've got my living presence. I never let go of your hand. And you have an eternity of problem-free coming in the future. So just hold my hand while you have trouble in this world. Okay? That's your best equipment, is holding my hand. Understand, I am a living person. I am here. You can enjoy a living presence. Happens when I get on the news and everybody's like, oh my God, he's back, and headlines, breaking news. And then I get up to the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a real person. Hi, my name is Brian Knight. Nice to meet you. Imagine seeing me in real life. Just like the disciples did. Walk right next to me and are like, dude, you're real. Yeah. Just like you, you're walking around. You're real, aren't you? How could it be impossible for God to be real then, if you are? Oh, do you really want me to say that? Wow. Okay, so get this. Everybody is so quick to believe that the Antichrist is alive walking around on this planet right now as a man. Huh? Ask yourself this. Think about this. Everybody is so primed and easily believe that the Antichrist is a man walking around on the planet. That's easily believed. But the fact that Jesus is a man walking around on the planet, well, that's odd. Yeah. It's just, it's so funny how you're quick to believe the negative, but it's so hard to trust the positive. And that's what it is, trusting the positive. Begin each day anticipating problems. Ask me to equip you for the difficulties you'll encounter. The best equipment is my living presence now. I never let go of your hand. Now, discuss everything with me. take a lighthearted view of your trouble, seeing it as a challenge that you and I tackle together. All right? Discuss everything with me. It's like talking to yourself is like talking to me. You're discussing when you're talking to yourself, you're kind of talking with me. You're discussing. You acknowledge my living presence. We discuss it. Then you're able to take a lighthearted view of your trouble. Instead of looking at your trouble as trouble, now that we've discussed it, you're able to take a lighthearted view of your troubles. You see it more of a challenge than the trouble. You see it for what it is. It's not really trouble. It's just a challenge that you and I tackle together. And remember, I am on your side. And I have overcome this world. I do it every single day. I overcome this world in new ways, in new fashion, with all these entities around watching my spiritual achievements each day. And trust me, mine are tough. I am screaming at the top of my lungs, I should have the peace. But I'm challenged. This world challenges me unlike it challenges you. Okay? We were living, enjoying my living presence, viewing your troubles as challenges, taking a lighthearted view of them, seeing them now as challenges, realizing a perfect day is an unrealistic goal. Equip yourself by anticipating problems each day, and ask me to equip you for the difficulties you'll encounter. Okay, now, if you learn to trust me, I mean, really trust me with your whole being, then nothing can separate you from my peace. Everything you endure can be put to good use by allowing it to train you in trusting me. Okay? I endured some stuff today that is just, I shouldn't be enduring it, but I have to. I endure it. I try to salvage the day, something comes along and ruins that. I endure it. I keep trying to salvage the day, another thing come along to ruin it. I endure it. Sometimes you just got to anticipate problems. Each day this day might not be salvageable. We'll just try tomorrow too. Some days you just gotta endure whatever it is, okay? Everything you endure can be put to good use by allowing it to train you now in trusting me. This is how you foil the works of evil, all right? If you want to get back at these bastards, trusting me, allowing me to train you in trusting me. This is how you foil the works of evil, growing in grace through the very adversity that was meant to harm you. Well, there we go. The very adversity that was meant to harm you, you have now turned it around and foiled the works of evil by taking the very thing that was meant to harm you and turning it into a challenge that you and I tackle together. And that's how you foil, that's how you ruin the works of evil. Okay? It's like this, it's a divine reversal. Okay? You've taken the devil's tool and used it against him, right? It's a divine reversal. Joseph was a prime example of this divine reversal. He declaring to his brothers, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." Did you hear that? Joseph is an example of this divine reversal. when he told his brothers, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. Think that's out of Genesis? No. Psalms? It's out of Genesis. What else do I got here? All right, so you have this tool. Come back. I'm sorry, I'm looking down at my notes and the image disappears. My bad. So you got this power of divine reversal now, don't you? Don't you? You do. If you listen to what I just said, you have this new tool of divine reversal. Okay? You people that are mean evil against you, you turn around and use it for good. So do not fear what each day brings your way. Concentrate on trusting me and on doing what needs to be done. Then, like now, relax in my sovereignty, remembering that I go before you as well as with you into each day. Don't I? I just went before you today, told you about what I learned today. I gave it to you right now as I'm with you. I went before you as well as with you each day on this show, don't I? I missed a day or two here because I have lots on my plate. So, relax now in my sovereignty. I am sovereign. You get to relax now in my sovereignty, remembering that I do go before you as well as with you each day. So fear no evil, for I can bring good out of every situation you encounter, that you'll ever encounter, that you will ever encounter in your entire life. That's other note. I want the is it that, or do we go to okay. I'm sorry. So we accept that we have trouble in this world. We anticipate each day, having problems. We look at these problems as challenges now, and that foils the work of evil. Now you know how to ruin the work of evil by divine reversal. Okay? Divine reversal. So fear no evil. I bring good out of this every situation you encounter, okay? So everything's a challenge, so therefore nothing's really that bad. You're growing every situation you encounter, you grow out of it now. I bring good out of it by your growth. So we got to the growth. Then it goes. Okay, then it goes here. Okay, so you're growing, you're understanding. We're taking one step at a time. We're learning things, and something that I really have a bad habit of is being hard on myself. Okay, I'm a perfectionist. Everything has to be a certain way. Obsessive compulsive disorder. My doctor came up with a new one. Mine is so bad that he says, I don't know what to call it. And it's IDKWTFI I don't know what to call it, is my how hard I am on myself. Okay. And I have to work on that. I have to work. My issues that I'm working on is being hard on myself. So don't be so hard on yourself. I can bring good out of your mistakes. Your finite mind tells you to look backward, longing to undo decisions you have come to regret. Because you have a finite mind. Your finite mind tends to look backward, trying to undo decisions that you've come to regret. That's a waste of time and energy, leading only to frustration. Okay? I deal with that frustration as well. So, instead of floundering in the past, because we do sometimes, we flounder in the past, nothing we can change, but we flounder there. So instead of floundering in the past, release your mistakes to me, look to me in trust, anticipating that my infinite creativity can weave both good choices and bad choices into a lovely design. Yes, I take black and I take white and I make a lovely design. I take good and evil. I take hardships, I take pleasures, I take everything, and I make a beautiful design, a lovely design. So quit wasting time and energy and frustration, longing to undo decisions that you've come to regret. Don't be so hard on yourself, Brian. Don't be so hard on yourself, Brian. Beat yourself up sometimes. Instead, look to me in trust, anticipating that my infinite creativity can weave good out of bad choices. All right? Because you are human, you will continue to make mistakes. And because I'm human as well, in a human shell, guess what? I get to make the mistakes. But they're not mistakes because I've learned from mine. So then, therefore, they're not mistakes. So, because you are human, you will continue to make mistakes. Thinking that you should live an error-free life is a symptomatic of pride. Okay? So, if you think you're supposed to live this perfect life error-free, well, that's just a symptom of pride. Okay? Your failures can be a source of blessing. Your failures are a source of blessing. You want to know how your failures are a source of blessing? Would you guys like to know how I turn your failures into blessings? Listen closely. Your failures can be a source of blessing, humbling you and giving you empathy for other people in their weakness. Your failures can be a source of blessing. Your failures humble you. Your failures give you empathy for other people in their weakness. Your failures should humble and give you empathy for others. If they don't, you're not doing this properly. And that's okay. Just turn around and try doing it properly. Your failures are blessings. They humble you, giving you empathy for the people who have failures too. I have failures. That's why I have empathy for you, because I have them too. Best of all, failure highlights your dependence on me. That is the best thing. It sounds weird. Your failures highlight your dependence on me, and that's the best thing for you. Sounds weird, but the best thing for you is that your failures highlight your dependence on me. I I am able to bring beauty out of the craziness of your mistakes. And I'm talking the craziness. Some of the stuff, mistakes we make are just straight up crazy and stupid. But I bring beauty out of that craziness of your mistakes. Trust me and watch to see what I will do. Just watch. You see what I'm doing? Here, go to the moon with me. See what I'm doing? Oh, no, that's not it. Here, see me walking around? Where's that one with the heart? Right.
Show you this picture.
Sorry. There we go. Trust me and watch to see what I will do. Don't long for absence of problems. Learn to trust me. Okay. I was gonna close with that. No. Give me a second here. Give me a second. We've got one last one to close with. And I had to go with this theme. Manipulation, flaws. Problems, flaws, manipulation. We're hard on ourselves. Okay. Yeah. Nope. Well, here we go. Let's just go here for a second. We realize that your mistakes are failures that highlight your dependence on me. We're overcoming by taking mistakes, learning from them, and making beauty out of mistakes. Okay, we're trying not to be so hard on ourselves, and do not resist or run from the difficulties in your life. These problems are not random mistakes. They are hand-tailored blessings designed for your benefit and growth. That lady flipping me off and telling me I'm texting was tailor-made for me. And it pushed my button. A button I didn't like. I didn't know I had. I was trying to be forgiving and understanding. But that, ooh, man, she tailor-made that button right there. These problems are not random mistakes. They are hand-tailored blessings. I hate it. I was gritting my teeth. Hand-tailored blessing. But that's what it was. It wasn't a random mistake. It was a hand-tailored blessing designed for my benefit and my growth. I didn't like it. It hurt. It irked me, pissed me off or whatever, but it was for my benefit and growth, because from that, I was able to go to my notes and bring this to you. So, don't resist or run from your difficulties in your life. The problems are not random mistakes. They're hand-tailored blessings designed for your benefit and growth. Okay? I know it sucks, but they're designed for your benefit and growth. So when you learn to embrace all the circumstances that I allow in your life, trusting me to bring good out of them, you can view problems as opportunities to rely more fully on me. There you go. Your problems now are opportunities. Dang, man, I just ruined everything, didn't I? I turned your problems into opportunities. I turned your mistakes into challenges. Don't I? So where was the part where I was feeling stressed out? I said stressed out. Where to put it? Hand-tailored blessings, yes. Your difficulties are hand-tailored blessings. Learn to embrace them, trusting me to bring good out of them. View your problems as opportunities. Oh, okay. And then when you start to feel stressed, let those feelings alert you to your need for me. Okay, so there we go. Learn to embrace those circumstances, and even when you've learned to embrace them, they will still make you feel stressed. I know. I'm doing it too. And you're thinking it's going to be perfection each time, but you start to feel stressed. Let those feelings alert you to your need for me, and thus your needs become doorways to deep dependence on me and increasing the intimacy between us too. So, your problems are now opportunities. When you feel stress, let those feelings alert you that your need for me. Your need for me now is the doorway that opens to the dependence on me, and that dependence, when you've opened that door and I'm helping you now, you've opened the door, you've trusted me, and you're allowing me to help you. Thus your needs become the doorways to deep dependence on me, and those opening that door, being dependence on me, has increased this relationship that we're building, this intimacy between us. Intimacy between us is relationship. You're getting to know me, aren't you? Because I'm a very complex kind of guy. I'm actually quite simple, but the whole thing is very complex. So it's takes a lot to discover. Don't resist or run from your difficulties. There are opportunities now. When you start to feel stressed, let those feelings of stress alert you that you need me. I had to all day long. God, grant me the serenity. God, grant me the serenity. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Because there's stuff that you can change and stuff you can't. The only thing you can change is yourself. So quit trying to change everything else. Start changing yourself. Okay? Embrace all your circumstances as opportunities, all your problems as opportunities. It opens the door to being dependent on me. And when I start supplying your needs, you and I fall in love. We get this increasing intimacy between us. And although the self-sufficiency is acclaimed in the world, reliance on me produces abundant living in my kingdom. Reliance on me produces abundant living in my kingdom. So, thank me for the difficulties in your life. I know. Thank you, gritting your teeth. Thank you for the difficulties. Okay, I'll take that. Thank me for the difficulties in your life, since it's your difficulties that provide protection from the idolatry of self-reliance. We're all self-reliant, aren't we? You made it an idol. I was self-reliant today, just holding on to that idol. Oh, boy, did I mess up. So, I learned from a mistake, and I'm growing. I'm growing too. We never stop growing, so don't be so hard on yourself. I wanted to close word and one card. Okay, I think it's that one. Very close one. That was resist. Trust. Okay. Yeah, here it is right here. Okay. What's a good image? Well, I will leave that image right there. You guys are looking at Jesus, you see his heart. Okay. Now, we've done all this work tonight. Learn to relate to others through my love rather than yours. Okay. Your human love is ever so limited. It's full of flaws and manipulation. My loving presence, which always enfolds you, is available to bless others as well as you. So instead of trying harder to help others, instead of trying harder to help people through your own strength, become aware of my unlimited supply, which is accessible to you continually. Let my love envelop your outreach to other people. Okay, let my love reach through you into other people. Many of my precious children have fallen prey to burnout. A better description of their condition might be drain out. Countless interactions with needy people have drained them. Countless interactions with needy people have drained them without their conscious awareness. You are among these weary ones. Are you? You might not know, because some are without their conscious awareness that they're on drain out. People have drained them. I'm one of them. I've been drained. I have drain out. I'm aware of mine, though. Countless interactions with needy people have drained them without their awareness. You are among these weary ones who are like wounded soldiers needing R&R, rest and relaxation. That's what I feel like. Wounded warrior, drained out, beaten, battle hardened, just drained, and needing some R&R. We are wounded soldiers needing R&R. Spiritual warriors. We've been fighting for a long time. You're among these weary ones who are like wounded soldiers needing R&R. So, when you're here, take time to rest in the love light of my presence. Take time, rest, have peace. Be with me. Take time to rest in the love light of my presence, even in replay. I will gradually restore to you the energy that you have lost over the years. Okay? I will gradually restore you to the energy that you have lost over the years. It's not going to come all at once, but I will gradually restore you to the energy that you have lost over the years. So come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and you will find rest for your soul. You will find rest for your soul. You do find rest for your soul here. You do. I love you. We're wounded soldiers. We're spiritual warriors, battle-hardened, beaten down, weather-beaten angels needing R&R. Rest and relaxation. Oh. Let's see, we can just kind of get that up instead. Oh, I know, I can put it up in a little box or something. Move that new. All right, little R&R. Okay, we go to that spot at Fiji and undo our deep quake research right there. Imagine this is the beach at Fiji and a little palm tree sitting next to you and some nice little warm breeze going. Maybe a little pina colada sitting by your feet and got your feet in the water. Just the water. The waves lap up and hit your feet and then wash back out. And there's smell of citrus in the air because there's just so many bushes around that everything is fruit. Everything has fruit hanging off of it. It's so lush and just vibrant, full of life there. We all need a little R&R. So maybe some of these nights we'll do a little transcendental meditation. I'll take you on a little trip. And close your eyes, and I'll describe a beach, and we can all go there and be together. Mai Tais in hand, cheering, "Hey, we made it!" It's there's your R&R, eternal R&R. It's coming. You just keep working, okay? Keep going. It's there. It's worth it. It's a real deal. It's a real thing. It's just hard to attain. It takes a lot of enduring things. Endurance as far as being able to withstand things. Endurance as far as being able to pace yourself over a long haul and have your endurance still there at the end of the race. That kind of endurance as well. Having endurance while enduring, okay? And we just keep struggling each day to salvage a day. We do have success on days. When we do, we're thankful for that success on those days, right? Okay, so it's important that we all start realizing we're going to get some R&R. Eternal rest and relaxation. It's just this last little stretch to go is the hardest. Okay, so hang in there, you guys. You're doing really well. I'm giving you the tools to hang in there for the last stretch, okay? These are tools that should have been taught in school, but, they weren't. They didn't want you knowing. So, when I found out, I figured, well, since I found a way and they don't want you knowing, well, I'm just going to show you anyway. Might as well if I have to endure all this pain. So, it's my honor, it's my pleasure to serve you guys and to bring this show to you, okay? I hope it brings peace. I hope it brings some courage. I hope it brings, you guys understand your inheritance now, okay? Understand you have an inheritance coming now, all right? A spiritual inheritance, if you want it. Only if you want it, you don't have to take it. I'm not going to force it on you or nothing, but you can have this spiritual inheritance. You got it already. You're already getting slices of heaven, little tastes of it already, little tidbits, all right? You're seeing me in the clouds. This is my face in the clouds. This is my face in the clouds. This is Jesus' heart making my face with the crown in the clouds. My face with the crown in the clouds equals Jesus' heart. The love of this man is my face. When you seek my face, you will find the love of Jesus. Here's my face with a crown in the clouds, just like the other one. This is the next in the series. This was the dot number 8 in the dot to dot, and this was dot number 9. Okay? Real deal. You guys really have it. You really have me. You do. Rejoice. Enjoy. Find that Christian courage that we're talking about. That twinkle in the eye is a new perspective, a new way of looking at things. It's not a moment of time, in the blink of an eye is a moment of time, but in the twinkle of an eye means a new perspective, a new way of viewing things. And I am the one who gives you that new perspective, that new way of viewing things because of who I am. Right? If you see this is me in the clouds. If this is fascinating and you're still just caught up with me in the clouds, you're caught up with me in the clouds, you're raptured. There is no word rapture, but here I am in the clouds. You're caught up with me in the clouds. We met in the air of cyberspace live on YouTube. That's in the air, isn't it? It's in the air. You met me in the air, didn't you? You guys wrapping your brain around this stuff yet? You finally picking up on how true every single thing and aspect of this is, and how truly blessed you are. You, as the disciple who believes me. That makes you a disciple. Whether you like it or not, by default. Okay? So like that you have a title. You really do. You're a son of God now. You chose to be. You chose to trust me. Then you made yourself a son of God. And why would you want to throw such a beautiful thing away? It's your foundation to fall back on. Also your foundation from which to build on as well. I'm the rock, the cornerstone. I'm telling you the truth because I am the truth. I'm showing you the way because I am the way. You guys have found me. I'm here, walking around as a man like last time. I love you guys. I miss you guys. I will be back. I am already back. Headlines. He's back. There's signs all around the world. Is there anybody that comes close to what I've got or what I do or the knowledge that I have that I try to teach you? Is there anybody comes close to what I do? No, there isn't. That makes me who I say I am. And it's for your benefit, not for me. I try to be humble about this. It's been very hard for me, very painful, and I love you guys. I miss you guys. I am back. And there's still more to come. Bye. I'll be back.